I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that we currently live, work and study upon, and recognise our continued connection to the land, water and community. I would also like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the Wadi people, the traditional owners of the Dharawal country, as well as pay my respects to elders past, present and future. My schooling consisted of traditional European teaching practices. We learnt through reading and writing, worked individually and primarily sourced all of our information through textbooks and the internet. Upon enrolling in the subject focused on Aboriginal education, I had a very limited knowledge and understanding of Aboriginal history and culture, and the way that our teaching practices could impact the way that our students learn within the classroom. Through extensive engagement with course content, reflective practices and individual research, I'm now much more aware of the ways that we can create a supportive and inclusive environment for our Aboriginal students as well as those who are non-Indigenous. The teaching practices implemented throughout the subject were a reflection of all the information that I was engaging with, as I came to learn more about the preferred ways of learning and how these can be incorporated into the classroom. A prime example of this was the icon presentation, where all students had the opportunity to present a symbolic representation of a key part of their culture or a memorable life experience. This allowed for teaching through narrative and story sharing, a way that the Indigenous people shared their knowledge of their own. We also engaged with the meaning of country and how this can influence our teaching practices. Country includes all things living and incorporates the relationships between people, plants and animals, as well as embracing seasons, stories and spirits. Through acknowledging the meaning of country and immersing our students in the environment around us, we will encourage them to connect with the land that we live and demonstrate its importance to us as we live today. A key way of developing our knowledge of country and Aboriginal pedagogies is through the engagement with wider communities, consulting groups that can provide an insight into Aboriginal culture and histories and the best way to teach this. Approaching Aboriginal elders and learning of their knowledge also expanded what we were to know about Aboriginal pedagogies and how to implement these within our classrooms. Over the past few months, my knowledge of how to effectively incorporate Aboriginal pedagogies into our classrooms has expanded immensely, and I look forward to continuing my journey to learn more about these practices as I enter my career as a teacher.